Hello, Oracles. Yesterday was rough. It was not the best of days, down 11%. But take a step back. Have you ever looked at the past and said, I wish I bought back in 2012, or 2015, or 2018, or during the COVID crash in 2020? Because if you have, you're in another one of those moments right now. Right now is one of those times where you are going to look back in the future and say, man, I wish I bought more stock at the beginning of 2022. Because right now we are in a place where the stock is compressing. We haven't consolidated really for a while. I think since, looking back at the charts, late September we were starting to come out of our consolidation. So it's been a long time since we've actually consolidated. You could say maybe a range between 800 and 1200 we've been bouncing between for the last 5 months. So that's about it, but still, we haven't really gotten to a good consolidation period, and the overreaction sell-off yesterday has given us a great opportunity to buy in. Can it fall more? Absolutely. I'm not a financial advisor. I dollar cost average because that's the wisest way to go when it comes to investing in stocks that you want to be in long term. So it could go further down. The macro environment is still extremely uncertain at the moment. We do not know what's going to happen when the rates go up, but we do know that when rates go up, valuations get compressed. We are in extreme compression right now. And Tesla is trading at about 100 PE based on an annualized basis from Q4 earnings. And we can see the growth going forward, which is just going to multiply that even more. So there's only so much that we can compress into the stock. And we're getting to the point where every single quarter we will be riding up and the price will just have to adjust every single quarter. So why did the stock fall as far as it did yesterday? I mean, we had great earnings. We beat all of our numbers. We didn't smash it, like we maybe thought, but we didn't smash our numbers as much as we thought because all the analysts kept on increasing their estimates over the course of the last month when they saw the production and delivery numbers come out. So, we are making amazing progress. Look at the year-over-year progress. Look at the quarter-over-quarter progress. Some reports came out and said that Tesla came down because they were not able to meet their production capacity like they wanted to over the last few quarters because they were supply constrained, and they see those supply constraints going forward. But take a step back, and Tesla beat all of the estimates that were out there. They beat everybody's estimates even as they increased their estimates. So clearly they overcame the supply chain shortages without an issue, which then you think about and say, well, what happens if there wasn't any supply constraints? How many could they have done? Could they have done 500,000 in a quarter? I mean, nobody knows, but that's insane to think about, the fact that they blew out all of these numbers despite the fact that they were constrained, yet reports are saying that that's the reason why the stock should be coming down. Makes no sense. My personal feeling, and after listening to a few other people out there, Dave Lee, Gary Black, Rob Maurer, looking at these things, I think that the reason that the stock came down so far as much as it did was the macro environment is pulling everything down. But because of what Tesla went through on their earnings call, it magnified it. And Gary Black had stated that, when a lot of portfolio managers are doing their numbers, they're not engineers. They're financial analysts. They're looking at strict numbers of this is what the numbers we have to go by. FSD is not one of those numbers. And because we didn't get any specific, clear guidance on a quarterly basis, or, hey, this is the number of units we're looking to produce, in 2023, 24, they now have a blank gap in their future analysis to look at. They don't have any numbers to be able to plug into their spreadsheets between 2023 and 2025 that are concrete. So now we're kind of up in this I don't know zone. And so because of that, a lot of people are like, well, we don't know that. We can't plug these numbers in. We don't know if we have this confidence going forward because the company couldn't give us clear, concrete numbers to go by. And so because of that, numbers came down and the stock price came down. Because, now you come down to, well, is Tesla going to solve FSD? Many of us believe that they are. When is that going to come to fruition? And when is that actually going to play into a robo-taxi scenario? We have regulators that we need to deal with as well when it comes to that. So When are those numbers actually going to hit? And it comes down to now a belief. And financial analysts and portfolio managers aren't just in a belief system when they create their models. They're in a concrete number system. So, whether they believe FSD is going to happen or not, they can't factor that in. And so numbers get all skewed, and now we're kind of in a, ooh, I don't know zone. And so then this brings us back to a 2018 scenario when it comes to Model 3. Is Tesla actually going to be able to pull off the Model 3? So, we look back at history and we see that they absolutely were, and if we had invested back in 2018, many of us would be living lives that we never dreamed possible. So that's the huge difference, and you have that belief. So now you step back, and again, I'm not a financial advisor, I just know what I believe in, and I believe that they are going to solve FSD. I don't know when. My personal belief is regulation on a federal level will not happen for probably 3 to 4 years, but it does go on a state-by-state level, and Florida already does have level 5 autonomy legal. So we could go on a state-by-state level. How that would play out with robo-taxis, we don't know. We know that robo-taxis do exist in places like San Francisco, so it's totally possible that we could start getting out there similar to the way they roll out insurance. We shall see. And obviously, Tesla does need to solve FSD. So I believe that they will. Elon says that they will be there by the end of 2022. Again, only time will tell. But this is one of those times where if you believe that they are going to solve this, now is the time you want to invest. Because as soon as they do, this spring loading of this stock compression is going to take off. And if you look at the historical chart of Tesla, which many of us have in the past, you see it goes up, and then it comes down, and then it springs back up again. And currently, we are in this very bottom piece, and there's so much negativity in the stock price. Tesla Q is out in full force right now. Bears are bashing the stock, bringing everything down. But even the bears are increasing their estimates by up to 50%. So you gotta pay attention, and this is a thing I go back to when it comes to analysts is, what is the general trend? They are all trending up. And so we're in a negative mindset state right now for the stock, for the macro environment. So it's just a matter of time before that sentiment changes and all of this positive news and positive numbers from their earnings call actually turns into positive catalysts for the stock. So yes, the stock can come down further, but yes, I am going to continue to dollar cost average. ARK just bought 33,000 shares themselves yesterday. So this is a great time to be buying little bits and adding to your portfolio, because looking at the macro environment, regardless of how long this is going to last, we are going to come out of this, and Tesla is going to be one of the strongest, if not the strongest players coming out of it. And these are the times where you are going to want to add and accumulate as much stock as possible wisely to be able to add to that. So when we come out, you'll be riding high and you won't be looking back and saying, oh man, I wish I bought. All you'll say is, oh man, I wish I bought more. And I know I talked to many of you guys in the comments. Some have been buying this dip and you're out of powder to buy some more. It happens, it's fine. You've bought in. If you get more money, do the same, and keep on adding to it if you want. Again, not a financial advisor, but this is what I am doing. But all of the underlying fundamental pieces of the puzzle for Tesla are coming together more and more. And as we go through the year, every single quarter we get to is just going to be another piece of that puzzle to show us the direction we're going. We still haven't even announced Austin and Berlin opening. Some are saying maybe Berlin's never going to open. They will. They've both been in production for a quarter now, and they're just waiting for final approvals to start doing deliveries. So we are moving in the right direction. As soon as sentiment changes, we've seen it happen in the stock before, and it's gonna happen again, and we will just skyrocket out of nowhere. And hold on to your seats, folks, because we're going to take off. And now some other great news out of yesterday. Yes, it doesn't sound great because the stock was down 11%, But for those of us who are ready and had some cash to invest, it was a great opportunity to add more to your portfolio. Plus, we filled that gap down to 843. So that gap that we had back from October 15th did get filled. And I know many people out there say, it's technical things, technical analysis doesn't work, statistical analysis doesn't work. Dude, I understand where you're coming from, and I don't know why it does get filled a lot of the times, but dang, man, both gaps that we looked at, the 939 and the 843, both got filled. So take it for what it's worth. They got filled. It is what it is. These are things that I do still track and that I do follow because they clearly do work. So, this is one of the reasons why, and it's just a piece of what I follow, is technical analysis. Sentiments, a lot of other things, fundamentals are the major piece, but it's just one of the pieces that I use when I'm following for all of the stocks that I trade. And one of those pieces is the RSI. And currently the RSI for Tesla is right at that 30 level. 30 is the point where you hit oversold. And right now, if we go under 30, that's oversold. So we're kind of at a tipping point. We'll see how it trades today. Looks like we are starting to creep up a little bit today, about 1% at the time of this recording. We'll see how that continues over the course of the day. We've had a lot of massive sell-offs going, so we might see a little bit of a rebound, maybe like a flattish green day today. Again, nobody knows. We'll see how it trades. And so let's look at financials and growth strictly from an EV standpoint. We'll take out FSD and everything else. A big concern on Wall Street is, well, how are they going to achieve 50% growth year over year going forward into 23 and 24? Elon was asked the question, how will you achieve 3 million vehicles without a $25,000 car? Well, last year during their earnings call, they had stated that they plan on achieving 50% year over year growth. They never stated that they needed the $25,000 vehicle to get there. That was an assumption made by many analysts. So they do not need this. They also stated that, the Model Y is going to be the best-selling car in the world in 2023. That would put it at 2 million units. So in 2023, 2 million Model Ys, and then you just need 1 million Model 3, S, and X, you've hit your 3 million. 50% year over year, we're looking at 2022 potentially hitting 1.6 plus million vehicles. 50% after that, by 2024, 3 million is simple, but they might actually get there in 2023. Obviously supply chain shortages are holding them back, but if they're not, and they said that they might alleviate by the end of the year, 3 million units is a potential possibility for 2023. So again, not needed. So if they are then going to come out with a less expensive car, making it in 2024 would make sense, and then they can start increasing it from there. Their focus is on FSD to be able to be prominent in that vehicle. So that gives them the opportunity to work on and perfect FSD and work on improving the costs and lowering the costs of that vehicle. So a lot of different things, but they have now given themselves 2 years to be able to work on both of those pieces because they will have enough Model S, X, 3, and Y going out there because demand is so high. So that 50% year over year growth is already there. We can see it, but because they didn't say it on the earnings call and they didn't specify it, we're now concerned on the analyst level. And so for me, I took yesterday as a great opportunity to add more to my portfolio, which I did. I actually got myself well over 6 shares now, and if the stock dips more, I will buy more. So this is how I am doing it. This is what I'm doing for my own portfolio. Again, do what works best for you guys on your portfolios. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about how the stock reacted yesterday to losing 11% and the earnings and beating earnings. Let me know your feelings. I know it could have been an emotional day for many of you. I know some of you have, bought as much as you can and now you're out of money. Let me know how you guys are feeling. We'll talk through this. We'll get through it because I know this can be a rough emotional time. If you are definitely hurting emotionally, just wondering what's going on, I encourage you to reach out to anybody who is a Tesla stock owner who has had it for more than 5 years, because this time may seem rough to you, but they have gone through some times that are so much worse. back when Tesla wasn't even profitable and the roller coaster ride was going on. So if you're ever in doubt, reach out to one of them. They can definitely help you get through this. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, as well as all the trades I make on a daily basis. Thank you all so much. Have a great one.